Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio, with another one. And today, we're going to be recapping the Chris Eubank Jr. versus James DeGale fight. But first, we're going to take a quick overview of the fight before that, which was Joyce versus Stiverne. It was an entertaining affair, more entertaining than I thought it would be, considering Stiverne came in weighing an all-time high of 19 stone, which equates to something like 273 pounds. I wasn't really expecting much from Bemain, so when he came out firing, or with response fire in the first round, it was a pleasant surprise. However, thereafter, even as soon as the second round, it looked like he could be stopped by Joyce. Throughout the fight, Bemain took heavy artillery fire and stayed in there. One potential motive could have been that he took so much criticism at his weight that he thought, well, even though I didn't train for this, I best not roll over. And so he stuck in there. He took a hell of a beating. Face was battered and bruised. It's gonna hurt tomorrow, which is today, the day after, and no doubt the day after. And it led me to a thought that there really needs to be a minimum standard. There really needs to be some kind of fitness test which can ascertain whether a fighter even bothered to train for a fight. Because Bemain coming in at 19 stone, I find it very difficult to believe that he did anything but the most minimal of training. And to be quite frank, it grieves me, it irks me that someone could do minimal training for a fight and turn up to expect to get paid. People work hard throughout the week to earn their money, to pay for their tickets, and for a fighter to turn up and not have trained, to me, it's kind of insulting. Well, it is an insult. So to me, a fighter, particularly heavyweights who don't have to make a weight, there should be some kind of minimum fitness standard. A week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. There should be some type of monitoring to make sure that guys, these heavyweights, are actually training. Of course, most do, but there should be a minimum standard that should be reasonably achievable if a fighter is training. And I don't know, an 8-minute mile? Yeah, you should be able to run a mile in 8 minutes. Would that be unreasonable? So, yeah, I really believe there should be a minimum standard, and there should be some type of fitness monitoring periodically throughout a training camp. Of course, a fighter can get injured, which can affect their training, so they could have to take a week off. Yes, fine. Maybe 2 weeks off. Yes, fine. But there should be some type of way of monitoring that fighters turn up to fights. The heavyweight fighter turns up to a fight, in fighting condition. So that fight was stopped by the referee in round 6 after Bemain had taken a serious beating. It was an entertaining fight nonetheless. As for Joyce, he was taking shots that I believe against higher caliber opponent could spell trouble. So Joyce, while he has improved his punch selection, punch technique somewhat. He really needs to work on his defense. Speed has been mentioned with Joyce. You could tighten that up also. You know, put a few miles per hour more on those punches perhaps. Yes, that would be nice. But he is on an upward trajectory. Okay. So, let's move on. That said, let's move on to James DeGale, Christopher Eubank Jr. Okay. Now, this fight was a good fight, but it did not live up to my expectation in terms of I expected James DeGale to come with more technique, more silky boxing, just more. But he showed up with less. Christopher Eubank Jr. really stepped up his game, I believe. Primarily because he started listening to his trainer. And that made a difference. His punch selection had improved. His punch placement had improved. It was an improved effort by Christopher Eubank Jr. It was a scrappy affair, as you can see here. There was one point late in the fight, actually, DeGale was using tactics, a jab and jump in. Jab and jump in for a hug, swing and jump for a hug, and Christopher Eubank just stood up and kind of threw him down, much like a bull throws down a matador tangled in his horns. So I found DeGale's work to be rather sloppy. It's not the silky boxing that I expected from him. This leads me to conclude that his best days are far, far behind him. I don't believe he can continue fighting at top level. He said himself that this fight was a loser leaves town fight, and I believe that he knows that he can't really mix it at this level anymore. That said, nothing taken away from Christopher Eubank Jr.'s effort, because he did hurt DeGale early in the fight, very early, as early as the first round. Eubank Jr., I believe if he continues, incidentally this fight was judged a unanimous decision for Eubank Jr. I believe if Eubank Jr. continues to listen to his trainer, continues to have game plans, specific game plans for specific fighters, and continues to work towards that, continues working on that, then I believe he can finally fulfill his potential. And in a couple of fights' time, I would expect and hope that he will be facing almost forgot his name. It's Saunders, Billy Joe Saunders. I look forward to that clash. 2 fights time, couple of fights in between. That'll be a big clash. The fight of the Battle of Britain, they should call that. But yes, good marks for Christopher Eubank Jr. DeGale stuck in there valiantly, although he was hurt multiple times in the fight. He stuck in there. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you. And I'm out.